Hello everybody and welcome back once again to AndyManCam's garage. Well, the weather outside is a bit damp and a bit rubbish, but luckily Healtech sent me a bunch of goodies to fit onto my Yamaha FZ1N. And in this exhilarating chapter we're going to be fitting the ESE-Y01 Exhaust Servo Motor Eliminator module. Healtech ESE-Y01 Exhaust Servo Motor Eliminator module. So first of all, big thanks to Healtech for sending me this over to try it out on my bike. Second of all, what does it actually do? Nowadays, in a lot of modern motorbikes, in the exhaust system, they have a valve. On Yamaha bikes, this is called the EXUP valve. Now, if we take a look at the stock can, you can see this bulge on the side is the housing for the mechanism that controls the butterfly valve, which is inside the pipe, which opens and closes like this, is controlled by the ECU of the bike, and depending on who you listen to, either controls power, noise, or perhaps a bit of both. But of course, if like me, you've swapped out your stock can for something a bit more racy, I've gone for the Storm by Miv Oval. Check the link up in the top right to see me fitting that pipe to this bike. And as you can see, this end can has no valve in it. So when you change your end can from stock to something a bit more exciting, you get rid of all the cables that control the valve, you get rid of the valve itself, but there's one thing you can't get rid of yet, and that's this little box of tricks under here. This is the exhaust servo motor, which does exactly what it says on the tin. It's a servo motor which controls the valve in the exhaust pipe. So ordinarily there would have been cables poking out of here leading down to the valve on the pipe. Now if you were just to remove this from the bike, you'd end up getting an error on your dashboard. So what this little doohickey from Healtech does is it takes the place of this servo motor and prevents you from getting that error. So you save a bit of space, you save a bit of weight, and you save annoying error messages blinking up on your dashboard. So I'll put this to the side for a minute, and we get on with taking the servo motor out. Removing the servo motor is incredibly easy. Just need to undo this 10mm nut at the top here, making sure to drop it through the bike to make sure it's properly filtered. Then pull the motor off of its mounting point, and then we can see the connection into the wiring loom. Then we remove this connector by pushing down on the tab, which is easier said than done when you don't have fingers like ET, and then pulling the connector off of the servo motor, which we can then awkwardly maneuver out of its place. There we go. That's the servo motor free. And because I know somebody's going to ask the question, I've dug the handy kitchen scales out so we can find out just how much weight we're saving. I think these scales get used more for weighing bike parts than they do for cooking. 409 grams. Not bad. Almost half a kilogram saved by getting rid of that beast. And we've also gained quite a sizable amount of space here, which looks to me like it'll be perfect for fitting things such as the Healtech quick shifter, which is going to be coming very soon. So now the time has come to finally break our little gadget out of its packaging. Inside here we have 2 cable ties, as is law with all bike accessories, the instructions, and of course the unit itself. And this next step is literally as simple as taking the exhaust servo eliminator, plugging it in where the servo motor came out, until you get a click, and that is now plugged in. So before I make it look tidy, I'm just going to make sure it works. Turn on the bike, engine light comes on, engine light goes out, engine light stays out. Job done. And obviously we can't just leave this flapping around in here, so we need to put it somewhere nice and tidy. For that exact reason, there is already a double-sided sticky pad on the back of the unit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick it right there on exactly the same surface that the servo motor itself came from, so that it's nice and out of the way. And the plug is then essentially going to be in exactly the same place as it was before we even started. Just going to make sure the surface is nice and clean, tidy. Peel the backing off of the sticky pad and then plonk that into place, nice and out of the way. And there it is. There's our Healtech ESE Exhaust Servo Eliminator fitted to my Yamaha FZ1N. And my exhaust servo motor itself is now fully eliminated. So I can just throw that wholeheartedly into eBay land and get on with riding my newly lightened and error-free motorbike. So thanks very much again to Healtech for sending me this exhaust servo eliminator unit. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you next time on AndyManCam's garage. Ta-ra!